Hello everyone and welcome to Sinful Gaming. I hope you're all doing well, I hope you're all staying safe, and most of all, I hope you're all fighting that war against the Grey. Today's video, we're going to look at getting started with Warhammer Age of Sigmar Kharadron Overlords. In this video, we're going to focus on the Barak Thryng sub-faction, and we're going to take a look at the special rule that makes Barak Thryng special for the Kharadron Overlords. We'll then take a look at a couple of units we recommend to get started with for the faction before looking at some other units we can use to expand upon those initial purchases. We'll finally finish off the video with a little sample army list for you to use, hopefully as some inspiration for starting your own Barak Thryng Kharadron Overlords force. And so, to start with, first of all, our special rule is Honour the Gods just in case. Pretty cool sounding rule. Barak Thryng allows all allied Dwarden priests that you bring in to know the following prayer in addition to any others they know. This is called Runes of Ancestral Guidance. It has an answer value of 3 and a range of 16 inch. If answered, you can pick a friendly Arcanaut Company or Grundstock Thunderers unit wholly within range of the prayer caster, and until the start of your next hero phase, a modified hit rolls of a 6 for attacks made with missile weapons by the unit this is cast upon will cause a number of mortal wounds equal to the damage characteristic of the weapon, and the attack sequence ends immediately after doing so. You don't make a wound or save roll, etc. This is pretty cool. This opens up a ton of mortal wound potential, which is something the Kharadron Overlords can do a little bit, but this is definitely going to, really put them into one big focus burst. I think this is a really fun sort of sub-faction. It's definitely going to be interesting seeing which units will take this the best. And I think there's a couple that, are potentially going to look nicely at this. And so, where to start though? But I think the Aether Chemist for me is a great place to start with this sub-faction. It's going to add something more to your units already that are already, getting some nice buffs here. So his big thing is the Aetheric Augmentation. At the start of your shooting phase, if this unit is not embarked, you can select a friendly Skyfarer's unit that's not embarked and is wholly within 12 inch of this unit. Improve the range characteristic of that unit's missile weapons by 1 until the end of the phase. So this does two things. First of all, it will go nicely alongside a priest who's doing those mortal wounds to say put on a separate unit, or it can even go on the same unit or on a unit that can't receive the prayer, because remember, the prayer is only available to Arcanaut Company and to Thunderers of different size units and stuff like that. But it does open up, some options on what you can do, allows you to sort of spread out your buffs or condense them into one to make a unit much more effective. Now, you do also have Atmospheric Isolation, where you subtract 1 for hit rolls for attacks made by enemy models while within 3 inch of this unit while it's not embarked, which is pretty cool as well. A nice, great defensive buff. He's really solid behind your objective holders, even behind, your troops that are moving forward outside of vehicles, outside of sky vessels as well. Now, to go alongside with the Aether Chemist, I think Thunderers for me are the way to go to start with. Now, you can make Thunderers battle line in a couple of different ways. There's a sub-faction that will unlock them that isn't this particular sub-faction, but you can also have a command trait that will make them battle line for you as well. Thunderers have some nice higher damage weapons or some nice higher output weapons as well. You've got the Aether Cannon, which is 3-2, rend 2, damage 3. If that can ever get its shot through and be, 3 mortal wounds, it's nice. But you've also got a bunch of different weapons with lots of shots. So your Aether Shot Rifles, 2 shots each. Your Aether Cannon, as mentioned, is the high damage one. Your Deck Sweeper has 5 shots each. Aetheric Fumigator is D6 shots that automatically hit. So the issue here is that will automatically hit with the Fumigator, meaning it won't get the benefit of the mortal wounds because you can't possibly roll 6s and auto hits. And the Grundstock Mortar gets a number of attacks based on how many models are in the enemy unit, though caps at a max of 5, so, really it's going to have another 10 shots. So a nice big unit of 10 Thunderers is definitely decent. You can have, with 2 Deck Sweepers and 2 Mortars in there targeting anything with 5 more models. You're going to get a nice 20 shots just out of them alone to potentially get some mortal wounds working on top of your Aether Cannons, your Aether Shot Rifles, and then the Fumigators putting in a few extra shots as well. They do have their Drill Bill, which will allow you to, each time they fight in combat, do another mortal wound, potentially, and Suppressing Fire means you can potentially make your opponents -1 to hit as well, if you can roll above their bravery after some modifiers. Now, looking at where to go next, the other unit, obviously, we get the bust for, and we're able to put that prayer on, is Arcanaut Company. Arcanaut Company are our standard sort of battle line unit available to Kharadron Overlords. They battle line at all times. They've got a few weapons that have, couple of extra shots. So you can either have the privateer pistol, 2 shots each, though only a 9-inch range 4s and 4s, but you can definitely get a decent amount of shots out of a larger unit. Your automatic volley gun has 2d6 shots, which can really take advantage, but it is only damage 1. Your light skyhawk is damage d3 with a render of -2, though it is only 1 shot, but once again, that if you roll that 6 can be a nice little bit of mortal wounds. And then you got your volley pistol as well for 3-shot pistol in there. You've also got a little bit of potential combat there with your Skypike putting out 3 attacks at 3/3s, run 1 damage 2 as well. Now, the cool thing about your light Skyhawk as well, if you are ever shooting at a monster, it'll be just damage 3 instead. So, you roll a 6, hitting a monster, 3 mortal wounds to that monster is nice. And also, while this unit's not embarked, you add 1 to hit rolls for attacks made with this unit when they're targeting a unit that's contesting an objective. Now, next up, we're going to talk about the Rune Lord. This is probably my go-to priest that I would be looking to bring into the Kharadron Overlords of Barak Thryng's force here. The Rune Lord, first of all, he's got some really fun rules that I think are just going to benefit you a ton. So, first of all, runes of spell breaking. The model can attempt to spell 1 endless spell in your hero phase and attempt to unbind 1 spell in the enemy turn. He also adds +2 to dispelling and unbinding attempts. And then he's also got his own prayers as well, which are Rune Law. These do only work on dispossessed units, but it doesn't mean he can't use them on himself for potentially giving himself +1 rends when his rune staff has, a D3 damage attack, or Rune Law for his ancestral shield, giving himself a ward of 6 up as well. Now, we then have the Code Riot. This is the brand new model coming out with this release for the Kharadron Overlords. First of all, advisory roll. While he's near another Kharadron Overlords hero, you roll 2 dice at the start of your hero phase if he's within 6 inches of them. And for each 4+, you get another command point. And then he's got his own heroic action, thanks to the I think you'll find rule, called Search for Precedent, where you roll a dice on a 1, nothing happens. On a 2 to 3, you can add a new footnote and apply that instead. Or you can, on a 4+, add a new footnote and or a new amendment for the battle as well. So some really cool versatility bring this model to your force. Lastly, I want to talk about Skywarns because we definitely haven't really talked about ships. This is probably the force you're going to go if you're wanting to play maybe a infantry style Kharadron Overlords force. And for this, I think Skywarns provide you with some decent combat potential. Skypikes at 3 attacks each, 3/3s, rend 1 damage 2, which is really nice. The grapnel launcher is nice to help them do some nice slinging movement across the battlefield. And then you've got time charge as well, where at the end of the combat phase, if this unit's within 3 inches of any enemy units on 2+, an enemy unit within 3 inch will take D3 mortal wounds. And so here we have our sample armor list for the Kharadron Overlords of Barak Thryng. Now, we've gone the grand strategy to defend what's ours. Normally, I like to go guided by the code with Kharadron Overlords. I think it's probably the best one, considering you've got a bunch of easy to complete battle tactics, but the fact that we've not got any ships in this list pushes that out. So I think defend what's ours. We're generally a slow-moving force, so that's probably what I'm going to go for. Triumph, 20 points under. Inspired, good chance we're going to get that +1 a wound, which would be really useful. And then we've got our code that we've chosen. So to start with, we've gone for Honor is Everything. We have a ton of larger units on the table, so rallies on a 4-up is just great. And then we've got Prosecute Wars with all haste. Once again, lots of infantry, so a 2d6 run is really useful. And then no trading with some people as well. Once per battle at the end of the shooting phase, if one of our Skyfarers units was shot, we can shoot back. This potentially could be really nasty if they actually got the buffs on our opponent's unit and they don't manage to do any damage or don't do enough damage. They've got to, either choose to wipe our unit out or suffer potentially buffed up units shooting back at them. Now, leader-wise, we've got the Rune Lord in there. We've gone with the prayer of guidance. We have a better version of Curse with the fact that he has, the prayer thanks to this. So guidance, potentially some more commands. You could go heal as well if you really want. Either or, it's probably unlikely you're ever going to use it. So it's up to which one you think is going to be that 1 in 12, 1 in 18 chance you're not trying to use. Aether Chemist will be our general with the command trait X Grundstock, meaning we get Grundstock Thunderers as battle line, but also we can use a free command point on them once per game. And then his artifact will be the Spell in a Bottle, giving us the Soul Scream Bridge. Now, we've then got an aspect of the champion on him for leadership of the Arthur, counts as 10 models and objectives, super solid. A Code Right rounds out our heroes. Battleline wise, 10 Arcanauts, 10 Grundstock Thunderers there, both of them, nice, decent, solid units that are going to be able to grab all the buffs in our force. And then we have 6 Skywardens with Grapnel Launcher as our other units, reinforced once there as well, giving us a decent combat threat. Now we then have, as mentioned, the Soul Screen Bridge. This is going to be really fun to be able to use. Fling those Thunderers or those Archnaut Company when they're buffed up forward. Going to be able to do plenty of damage with some shooting. And then everything is wrapped up in a Battle Regiment for a 1-drop force. 2 reinforced units out of 2, no allies. 57 wounds or 1 drop. And 980 points out of 1,000. If you've got some ideas on a Barak Thryng list, let us know down in the comments below. Well, that's the end of the video. We hope you all enjoyed. If you did, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And also drop a comment down below letting us know what you enjoyed about the video. If you'd like to come chat more with me and other members of our little community here at Sinful Gaming, we have a Discord server which is linked down in the video's description. Also linked down in the video's description are the best ways to help support the channel, either by Patreon, YouTube members, or by grabbing yourself some merch from either our Ko-fi or Teespring stores. All of those things are linked down in the video's description. As a special thank you to everyone who does support us via Patreon and YouTube members, we'd like to give you all a shout out. So thank you to our Patreons, Christian Weir, Soren, Kenny Lowe, Outer and Shot First, Andrew Bowen, The Rising 8, Pure Dynamic, Anthony B, JJ Austrian, Average Wargamer, Domir, Mark Harvey, James Cater, Benjamin Swallows, Red Martin, Iron Grinch, Nicholas Conomos, Colorblind Magic, Daniel Everington, and Andy C. And to our YouTube members, Green Roots Gaming, Ronya, Lock Lorick, The Johnny84, David Ellsworth, Wolfric Nick, Broken Chef, Ariana Edwards, Revenar, Pink Nico Fire, Robin Mankiller, Monty Stabletop Terrain, John Castle, Davis Weird, James South, James Tillman, Dylan Marino, Gargamel 196, and Disco. Thank you all so much for your support, and special shout out to Lady Witchfox Art, who does all the amazing artwork for the channel, and to everyone who helps run the channel, whether that be on the Discord server as our mods, on our live stream mods, or the guys that come around and help provide the battle reports for you all to watch. Thank you all once again, everyone. Stay safe, stay well, and most of all, keep fighting that war against the Grey. Ciao for now.